Hello Internet, welcome back to our Crusader Kings 3 playthrough. We're going to be jumping back into it. In the last couple of episodes, we made some mistakes, I think. So now's a great time to mention, if you're watching this on YouTube, I have already recorded all of these episodes. None of them have gone up on the channel yet. So I have like a 7 to 10 day backlog, which is way more than I usually have for a series. So I have not seen your comments, so if you've been complaining and saying, oh, you're making these mistakes, I've not seen them yet. However, in the last episode, we did a matrilineal marriage, and the more I thought about it, the more I realized what a mistake that was. So we are currently not in an alliance, so we didn't even get an alliance from the marriage. In fact, we never got the response. So we need to unpause and wait for that response to come from the marriage. We did form an alliance from it. We betrothed our son to his daughter to secure an alliance with Gilland here because they're quite powerful and they're adjacent to us, but not really in direct path of where we want to expand to. So in general, I think it was a good alliance to make. However, we married our son matrilineally. So if we go to our youngest son, somewhere in here is a young son. We have 8 children and more coming on the way, which I think is going to cause us some problems long term. But basically, we have a son. When we die, when our ruler dies, our heir is going to receive our biggest title. So he's going to become the ruler of our whole domain here. And he will take the duchy of, what's our biggest? It would be the Jarldom of Agder. He will become the Jarl of this. And because he's the highest ranking person, he will maintain control over the realm as it stands now. All the other things that we own are going to be distributed among our children, specifically the males. I don't think the females get anything. So when that happens, that means that this youngest son, he's going to get something. The one that we just betrothed, he's going to get something. We don't really know what it is that he's going to get. You'll see he has claims on everything we own. All of our children will. However, children from this marriage will become part of the mother's household. And what that means is that even though our son will get the land, he'll probably continue to be in our realm, which I for some reason thought he would go over here. But no, he'll remain here and rule over whatever he gets through his succession. However, when he dies, his children will be part of Gilland, and they will be taking control. They will inherit from this boy whatever he is controlling. So at some point in our future, through matrilineal marriage, our son will pass part of our realm off to this other Jarldom, and we really don't want that. So I thought about breaking the betrothal. I'm sure we get a prestige hit from this. Yes, we lose 150 prestige. That's actually not that bad. However, they will lose opinion of me. Who will? Who will lose opinion of me? Everyone? No, this guy. All family members of these people. Which we don't really care about. So because he's so young, I think what we will do is let our alliance run for the next like 15 years. And then when it's time for them to marry, we'll just say no and take a prestige hit. But we want this alliance for now. So I think it's okay temporarily, but I did write it down as something I shouldn't have done. So I'm sure I've gotten some angry comments about how foolish that was, but we will get that sorted out as it becomes necessary to do so. I also wrote down child guardian because I believe we have a lot of children who are not currently being educated. Do you have, I wish it would show your mentor in here somewhere. Relationships is your guardian. Okay. And we have a childhood focus because they're old enough to have one. But many of our other children don't have these guardians, and we really should have them because they will increase what we can control a little bit, what their future will hold. So for instance, you don't have a guardian, we should give you one because we want our second and third born sons at least to have someone just in case, you know, succession goes a little bit wrong and we lose an heir or something like that. So who would we like? Not us, because we're not very good. We're a clerk. I mean, it's not a terrible trait. Stewardship is important, but I really would rather have my children have a military focus. We haven't talked about this. If we look at this square symbol here, it says we're a thrifty clerk, and it says it's an education trait. Now, each of these people will have an education. This represents how we were educated growing up, and there are different benefits to them. You'll see they're all different. This one would give +2 learning. This one's +2 stewardship, etc. But you'll also notice there is a star here. We are a 2-star educator. We have stewardship +4. This guy has the same trait. It's just named differently, but it's the same thing. And you'll see he gets a +2 stewardship and a +10% lifestyle, but we get a +4 and 20% because we are a higher star educated individual than him. So when we educate our children, there's a chance that this will pass to our children. So we want to select educators that have a high star count, as well as being in the domain that we want them to be. So, for instance, if I want my son to be a military man, we're going to look for military educators, like this guy is a tough soldier. That will give him a bonus to martial, and it increases the chance our son will get that. But we want someone with like a 4-star education, and unfortunately the only person we have with 4 stars is our Grey Eminence. And diplomacy is great, especially once you start to have a lot of vassals. The diplomacy tree is a pretty good tree. I prefer martial, but diplomacy is probably my second that I prefer. And then we have learning, which I just don't find learning that valuable. So you're like the only good educator in our realm, huh? So we'll give our second born that same educator. Yes. And our third born, we should give him someone. If nothing else, we should give him someone, even if they're not very good. Oh, who is educating you? Guardianship or ward is Linda, my woman. So how many children are you currently educating? Let's take a look at that would be our spy master? No, it's our royal physician. Go to court. Yes, royal physician. Let's take a look at you. How many? None. Oh, no, not my physician. My woman? You, yes. You have 0 relationships as well. But you're educating my children. Why don't you have that listed in your relationships? Well, regardless, check our sons. Unmarried, is currently being educated. Okay. And then our third born, no relationships, educate. Yeah, I think we will give him our upbringing just because stewardship is acceptable. It's not great, but it's something. And then our most recently born son, no, that is all of our children. Okay. We don't care too much about our daughters, which is an unfortunate fact of life. For back in these times, women just don't inherit the way that boys do. I need to start using the hotkeys. People are going to be mad at me for not using hotkeys. So let's take a look at our current succession laws. We haven't talked about this at all. Currently, we have the Confederate partition. What that means is that all of our children will inherit equally. There will be titles created and given to our children. Like, so for instance, we have 8 children. We don't currently have 8 titles available to us, so it will create additional titles in the event of us dying. We really don't like that. We would prefer partition where it doesn't create new titles, because that way it will be a little less fractured when we finish our rule, when we go through succession. And then additionally, we have the primogenitor is like the best succession law. But you'll see for these things, we require certain things, like our culture or Norse culture has not figured out the hereditary rule innovation. Primogenitor is quite advanced in the like tech tree of culture, so it's going to be a long time. But basically, primogenitor means my first son gets everything, basically, or the oldest child gets everything. And that's like the best one because it doesn't splinter the realm upon succession, but we are very far from getting that. You'll see it's listed as multiple heirs versus single heirs. So that's one aspect of succession, but then there's also the gender law. Currently, it's a male preference, which means that the males will take precedence over women in succession. It doesn't mean they can't get things. It just means that they're very unlikely to get them if we have any sons. So currently we have 4 sons, which means our domain will pass to our sons. I don't think the females will get anything. If we only had 1 daughter, she would be our heir. She would get everything, but they prefer male. So if we had a son after her, it would default to the son instead. We can go male only. We can go equal rights, of course, and then we could go into the female tree. Now, unfortunately, women are not treated very well in Crusader Kings, so I would not do female only. I think that would be a fun thing to do once I know the game a little bit better, but currently we're going to go with the male preference. Male only, I don't like either, because if we only have a female, success, a female heir, that would be better to give it to her than to give it to, like, our cousin or uncle or something. We want to keep it in the dynasty. And we also have crown law, which we talked about before. Currently, we're at the lowest tribal authority. We are tribal, and basically all this means is that we get a slight boost from our vassals because we have such a low authority. As we go up, people will like us less and less, but we will have more control over our vassals. However, we need a higher authority in order to make a lot of changes to the way we govern. So we're going to need to creep this up over time. I think the first step, all it does is cost us prestige, and we lose that bonus to our vassals. However, we get the ability to, like, imprison people who are our vassals if they do something wrong. And then I don't really understand, tribal rulers with non-tribal lieges may settle, becoming feudal or clan. I don't really know how that works if we're not feudal. I'm not sure I understand how that works, but it seems like something we would want. However, we've been spending a lot of prestige. I would like our prestige to recover a little bit, and I feel like we should be focusing on men-at-arms. But anyway, it's a lot of talking. Let's unpause the game. Once again, concubine is pregnant. Have so many children coming my way. It's a bit silly. What is this? She's terrified of us? Well, I don't like that my woman is afraid of me. That makes me very uncomfortable. But looking at Opland has 1,100 men. We're up around 2,000 as we recover here. I think we're going to war with Opland. We currently have a truce with Ferdafilki over here, because we went to war with them pretty recently. We should have a truce here somewhere. Yeah, so we can't go to war with him for another 4 years, which is odd because I thought it was 3 years last I looked. We do have this alliance going, which is great. We got organized service, which is a bonus to taxes all throughout our realm. Nope, just through Agdecide here. But that's something. You'll see they don't provide very much in the way of taxes. We haven't really talked either. I said we would turn our attention. I'm going to pass time as we talk. I said I would turn my attention to the realm. What I meant was that I want to develop our main capital holdings. So if we go to, what is our main duchy? Yes, the Duchy of Agder consists of these two provinces here, or whatever they're called. And you'll see there's a lot of room for development. We can't build any other buildings yet. We're not advanced enough to do that. But what we can do is expand upon the cities that we hold, these tribes that we hold, and continue building for them. Because the capital realm is most likely, I mean, we have a lot of children, so actually on succession we might lose some of this stuff. But in general, your capitals remain under your direct control. We have a lot of kids, though, and I'm not very good at succession, so we might lose everything. Who knows? I don't really understand how succession works 100%. But for the most part, we will remain in control of these things, and we want them to be as powerful as possible, because when we have succession, the guy's 35. In like 15, 20 years, when we have succession, stop being pregnant, everyone. I have too many children. We will take a big hit usually on our like manpower. I'm not sure why that happens. It might just be if they don't have a good martial score, and I sort of linked that in my head. But after succession, things get a little bit of, rowdy. People try to rise up against you. People don't like you very much. Your vassals are having some issues with maintaining, being under your control. And so it becomes a lot of fighting. So I would love if the few holdings we retained would be really powerful, would be great. Yes, another daughter, great. If you're going to have children, I would prefer they be daughters so it stops messing with my succession. What is this visual artifact going on? We have a little square here. Okay. I don't know what's causing that, but that's fine. So I think our next thing will be to go to war with Opland here. Our neighbor King Bjorn has won against Ranriki conquest of Vingulmork. I have no idea where that is. I think it's this. Did you just take this from someone? What? Namdalfilka? I don't think so. Sweden is a concern. They're quite powerful. We really need to start strengthening our realm. I know expansion is fun. It's like the most fun part of Crusader Kings to expand your realm, but at the same time, I would rather do work in our provinces so that we can get stronger in our already held provinces rather than constantly expanding. That said, we do want to go to war with Opland. They're currently in some kind of battle. They're attacking Lordship of Marioneth. Where are you? Why are you going to war over there, Opland? What a silly thing. Well, they're away at war, so we're definitely going to raid them. Yeah, I mean, they just don't have the men at the moment. So we go to war. They'll probably come home to defend, but honestly, most of their men are probably in England at the moment. Let's see if their numbers continue to tick down. They are, albeit slowly. Let's go to war. Kid, remember when I killed your dad? Remember that? Do you have a scar on your face? I don't think so. It kind of looks like there's a scar right here over his eye. Very, very Norse, very Viking of you, kid. So, let's go to war. Jarldom of Opland. You know, and I really should be picking provinces based on, like, their value. Like, I would rather go to war over this than this and continue bordering Sweden, because I wouldn't hate if these guys went to war with Sweden and kind of roughed each other up a little bit. But Opland is just not in a very powerful position. So we're going to go to war here. What are we going to go to war over? Conquer County. Objectives. No, I don't want that. Why would I take that? Is that, like, better? Did it default to a really good one? I can't click it. Let's take a look at these and see. 0.3, 156, 0.12, 177. Where's the border here? Take your capital. 1.25. Yeah, I want this. This has way better taxes because it's your capital. Yeah, I would like to take Hedmark. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. Conquer County. Change objective. Chiefdom of Hedmark. Yes. 100%. That's what we want. It has the best taxes. Because it's his capital, he's probably been building it up. Do you have buildings, actually? You don't. I really wish people were building buildings, because then I could conquer provinces that have buildings in them. But no one's building. Again, Norway, in the Norse region, not super developed. Declare war, conquer county, Hedmark, confirm, 50 piety, not a big deal. Go to war, we'll get some prestige out of it. Done. And raise all armies. I should have moved the rally point, but that's okay. 1,800 men, 1,600 men. Okay, is fine. Let's go take the capital. That way we will get a ticking war score over time. So we haven't talked really about war score and what contributes to it. You'll see we're currently at 0%. We've just only gone to war. They probably will return their forces home here to defend. Another good female heir, or daughter rather. They probably will return to defend, but ultimately they are pretty weak. So war score goes up over time if you are holding the, I believe, the whatever you're targeting. So if we conquer Hedmark, which is our expressed goal, we will over time get a tick up of our war score, which means this will gradually go up. Now, each time we siege a province down, we will get a boost to war score based on the percentage of their lands that we conquer. If we take 100% of their lands, we will get 100% war score. Wealth aplenty, my treasury is brimming with silver and gold. I mean, we are still at 0-0, but okay. As a wealthy lord, I am expected to offer patronage to some kind of artist or scholar. As luck would have it, 3 potential candidates just arrived in Agder, but do any of them impress me? I don't know. Do you impress me? You are terrible. Well, you certainly don't. You are also not very good, although you're better, in my opinion. And we could put you maybe on our council. Ooh, 18 diplomacy is very good. We have a pretty bad diplomat, if I recall. And are you... You are my vassal, but we could stick you somewhere else. Steward and champion, so you could get replaced. Your stewardship is not good. Adar, how are you at stewardship? So we could move Adar over here and replace him with that guy. So we like the guy on the right. Hrodgar of Our Armies. Growing Beautiful Gardens, 50 gold for Immaculate Gardens, plus 1 prestige per month. 1 prestige is pretty good at the moment. 50 gold. Supporting Religious Art, plus 0.5 piety per month, which we don't care about as much, but we will get this guy to join our court. Discoveries made by Eggle. Oh, I didn't even see you there. Hello, third person. Shrewd. Show promise, 50 gold, and we will get funding natural philosophy, which is plus 2 learning and development growth, which we do not care about. Or we lose 75 piety. I feel not good losing 50 gold while I'm at war. However, once we siege provinces, we will get some gold back. I would prefer, honestly, I don't like this guy as much. I mean, we can replace him as steward, but the plus 1 prestige per month is pretty great. So we're going to grow some beautiful gardens, and we're going to make sure the game is paused, and we're going to replace our steward. Are you in any way my vassal? No, you're just some guy that works for me. Sorry, bro, you don't have land, so you don't matter. So we're going to get a good steward here. The Gardener. Excellent nickname, sir. House Kraka. I don't know how much the dynasty matters, but it means he's not a lowborn. It means he belongs somewhere, which is interesting. But let's assign him as our steward. Yes, we will fire that guy. He doesn't matter. He's not one of our vassals. So, are we taking attrition? We are. So, let's split our armies. We figured out how to do this last time. We want to select just this army. How do we... I remember you can do that in the reorganize menu, but I thought there was another way that I missed the first time. Shift click to deselect. Okay, so we've split our armies. How big are... You're both about 800. Okay, so we'll just choose the one. Control click to select only this army. We'll send you to siege. You're going to take attrition. I really wish I understood what was causing me to take attrition. It seems like no matter where I go, I'm always taking attrition, and I don't understand why that is. You're still taking attrition with only 800 men here? I'd like to see the supply limit. Your supply limit is 2,070, so why am I taking attrition when I'm sieging? I'm definitely missing something about how attrition works, and it is becoming frustrating, I'm not gonna lie. I don't really get it. Can you just go through here? Maybe it's different. Maybe it's just because we would have been moving through the same province as them, and that's why we're taking attrition. I really don't know. Please, for the love of God, people, stop making babies. I'm super potent as a lover, I guess. And where did these 800 men come from? You literally weren't there a second ago. They were not here a second ago. Where did you come from? I don't understand. Whatever, man. Getting a little salty. I'm not gonna lie, I've been having a not good day. Been getting a lot of really toxic comments on YouTube, and I didn't really want to talk about it because I didn't want to, you know, cause any problems. I know people don't like hearing sometimes about my life. What we're gonna do, we're gonna finish sieging. We're gonna regroup our army, and we're gonna take the fight to their remaining forces. I really wish I knew where these 800 guys came from, because they were not here a moment ago. He has 977 men. How did you raise men basically right next to me when we were already at war? I don't really get it. You're still taking attrition. I don't understand. It says we have enough men. Why are you taking attrition? Show me the realm. Holding. Supply limit 2070. Why am I taking attrition? I'm getting annoyed when I don't understand the mechanics of the game. Little things like that really pester me. I really like, you know, and that's the other thing I wanted to mention. I know we've been playing for about a week now, and we've been doing some stuff, but like, I want you to understand, I started playing CK2 like literally about a week. Where Where'd the army go? I thought they were coming over here to siege us. Hostile army. Was it not his army? Was it like a peasant uprising or something and I just wasn't paying attention? They don't seem to care about me. So, okay. Go back to splitting these men. Send this group, control-click, over here. Okay, no attrition. Send this group over here to siege. Okay, no attrition. Yeah, I started playing Crusader Kings 2 about a week before CK3 release, so I haven't played very long. And then CK3 I've only played maybe 6 or 7 hours of, so still a very new player, you know, bear with me as I make my mistakes. I have been enjoying the game for the most part and thought it might become a staple of the channel if I continue enjoying the game. Shameful truth has reached the light of day. My martial chieftain Bjorn had an extramarital affair with Mare, the love of my martial chieftain Bjorn. I'm sorry. So this guy had an affair with the love of himself. That, sure. That's probably a bug. How could he defile the sanctity of his marriage? So you're married? And you had sex with this lady. Well, he is our vassal, so, arresting him is bad because there's a chance, like, we would have to, he would not like us from then forward, or we could ignore it, and we would lose 1 level of devotion. A full level, huh? That's a lot. Oh, I hear mowers nearby. Hopefully they're not coming to mow. Well, I'm trying to record. I want to look at my religion. Where is my specific levels? Where can I see these specific levels? My current level of devotion. There are 5 levels. Every time you gain piety, you increase. So we are currently the lowest level. So losing a level just means it resets our progress. No effect. Clergy opinion, clergy opinion. All it does is affect my clergy opinion? Yeah, okay. I don't care. I don't want to upset my vassal. Boop. Oh, we are sinner? So even though you just told me there's no level below sinner, like literally you just told me, dutiful, these are the levels. Nowhere in here did you mention that I would become a sinner. It's not listed here. So that is obnoxious. So the clergy thinks less of us. An enemy ally has joined the war. Another son is not great. And one of our enemies has made an alliance. Has joined Agder conquest of the chiefdom of Hedmark. Yeah, of Hallowgaland. Hallowgaland. You up here. How strong are you? Pretty strong compared to this other guy. You're about the same strength. Oh, so now you're in my land. So even though I just looked and there was no army here. Of Jarl Landless. Enemy army. Who... It says Jarl of Opland. Why does it say Jarl Landless? Okay. Why don't we see if you want to come to war? No. Call to war? We'll accept. He's very strong. We do lose prestige, which will offset. What we could do is call our allies to war as well. You're strong-ish, and you definitely will come to war. You love us. Why can't I invite you to my war? Why can't I invite you to my war? You are my vassal. Can imprison, can call on my ally Jarl Bagseg of Gilland. Yeah, but why can't I call my vassal? I can't call either of my vassals to war. What's the point of having vassals if I can't get them to fight with me? So that's 800 men we're missing out on? Because I don't think Do they give me direct levies? I thought as a tribal realm, they don't give me direct levies. You do give me direct levies. Okay. I thought I had to call you to war. Okay, well, whatever. We're going to call this big tough guy into war. Might as well. If we're going to have an alliance, you know, it's going to cost us some prestige, but it will save me from having to, you know, do all of the work myself. Once again, both of our groups are getting attrition, and I do not understand. You're taking 1% attrition per month. Well, that's probably just the result of the siege, right? How do I... Daily progress. Okay, I was thinking that meant we were taking significant attrition. And when we tried to cross the borders, remember it said we would have taken 100 deaths, and I don't understand that. So our capital is being sieged, which is really bad for us. Hopefully our ally will come to war and help us. I'm really a little concerned once they join the war. Really hate that. I really hate that you can call an ally that you didn't have at the start of the war. It obviously makes things much more frustrating when you know you have a significant man advantage, and then all of a sudden, oh, by the way, we allied all of France, and France is going to join the war now because we married into each other. It's just annoying. So that allied army did clear out the siege on our home area there, so they won't be able to raid that down. However, it's already taken some kind of toll on the province, I imagine. We could have handled this war on ourselves just from sieging down all of their holdings, but why not take them if we're able? Okay, so we've had quite a few prisoners over the course of this. Let's see if we can ransom some people. Sparring grounds was constructed, so now we'll get additional levies there. Our ally did join the war. We might have saved that call to arms for when we go to war with Sweden, but, you know, at this point, they're so strong, we're pretty strong. The alliance alone is enough to keep most people from bothering us, including Sweden, because I believe in a defensive call to arms, they will almost always respond in your favor. Joining an attacking war like we're doing right now is a little bit more questionable, I think, but... Alright, so let's siege here. We unlocked a stewardship lifestyle point. We don't have republics, but we want to get down here to avaricious because we've already put so much into this tree. We probably should have gone down a different tree, but it is what it is. Anyway, let's check our current prisoners. Edla. Ransom. We'll accept for 50 gold. Why? She's just some person. She's not your relative. Sure. 50 gold. Let's wait, pass some time, get the response. Great, 50 gold. That paid for the gardens we just made. Chieftain, England, whatever. Cannot afford the ransom. Oh, and the kid is in jail? Oh, aren't you the guy in charge? So if I have you under my control, why can't I end the war? 87%? I mean, we're just gonna polish off the war, I think, because at least if we sack hostile army. Let's send you to regroup. No, don't go that way. No, don't go that way. Okay. Can you stop? No, you're already... And let's regroup so we have both of our armies together. So you can't ransom that particular kid. What about you? You ransomable. Negotiate release. No ransom. 6 gold to me because you can't afford any more. You will give a weak hook? No. No. Execute. Yes. We need piety anyway because we're a sinner now. Really frustrated that it didn't tell me I could have negative levels. 1-year-old child. 6 gold. Sure. Who are you to him? Who are you to him? You're his sibling? I guess we want to hang on to anyone related to you. We're just going to hang on to the rest of these kids for the time being. And then after the war, we'll see what happens. We might execute them all once we know kind of that we're done here. You're sieging. You're a hostile army? Why are you sieging their province? Army of Seilinger. Where did you come from? Chiefdom of Metal Pad. So you've chosen to come and siege them as well. Are they at war as well now? Defending against me, attacking someone else, defending against that guy. Okay, so they're listed as a hostile army even though we're both going to war with them. I'm not sure why they would be hostile to us. We are at 90%. Honestly, with the ticking war score, we can just sit still and do nothing. We would love to ransack another province, though, for a little extra gold. Now you're not going. I don't really know what you're doing. So we didn't really need to call our ally into war. The only thing that would have made a difference is if he had sieged down our capital. Would have been bad for us. How are you doing control-wise, capital? 75% from previous raids. We're okay. And they're raiding Sagan. Why did... They were literally just here. Why did they already conquer this? They only were there for a few days. Is now occupied by my foe. Uh-huh. I don't understand. I literally just saw them leave. How did they already siege this down? Do you have siege weapons at your disposal? So we went down from 90%, which is not great. And they're of course going to go over and continue to harass us. They're going to try to take their capital back. I think if we take this other province, that will be it. Do you have siege weapons? No. How did you siege my things so fast? They must have got really good rolls. Okay, we're at 100%. Let's just end this war. Big wars always frustrate me. Just end the war. Oh, we should have ransomed and killed the kids first so that we would have gotten some more piety. That was a mistake. Should have done that. We still have... Oh, they're still under our control. I thought they get released after war. I guess that's not the case. Let's send our men home. So you're like the king of this little area, right? Or did that get transferred to someone else? Nope, you're in charge. Have you recouped any gold? You have a little bit more gold. How about this? How about this? I have most of your dynasty under my control. Oh. I have most of your dynasty under my control. This is not the guy who's in charge. It's all his brothers and sisters, I think, that I've captured. I'm a little confused by how everyone is connected. I thought this was the guy ruling, but whatever. We'll ransom one for the gold, and we will execute the others. Sorry, children. I need some piety. And we'll get some gold out of that. Yes. Good deal. Get rid of these pop-ups here. We're going to disband our men as soon as they're in our territory. Taking over Hedmark, which has a good base tax and everything, so probably the most valuable province we could have taken from them. I would really like to get this control back up. Levies in the county are changed by minus 12%, taxes 24%. It doesn't tell me why it dropped to 76. I'm pretty sure it's because we were raided, but I would like a little pop-up that says, you know, recently raided minus 25%. It'll go away in 2 years or however long or whatever. I would prefer that, but that's okay. We're going to disband our military here and let them begin to recover. Disband army. We are over our current limit for holdings. I would prefer to get rid of something. I would like to keep Hedmark under my direct control because of the high taxes that it offers. So we currently control this. We could offer this to one of our children. Above domain limit. Raid. You should raid. Okay, well, I just got out of war, so why don't you give me a minute? Can imprison criminals. Children lack guardians. Okay, yeah, my daughters, I'm a little less concerned over, but my children, my sons should probably have some educators. There are just so many not good ones. We don't really have great educators. Sure, we'll give you a martial focus. Sure. Astrid. My wife and soulmate. Learning. I just hate learning so much. Maybe you'll grow up to be like your brother's court physician or something like that. And we'll do the same for you. Maybe we'll have some good court physicians that we're raising up in our own family. It's a respectable position, in my opinion. So, again, I'm a little bit confused over succession. In Crusader Kings 2, like, let's say, currently we have a jillion sons. We're going to be really screwed when we finally do cross the threshold into succession. Unless we can form a kingdom in the near future, we're going to have a lot of fracturing that occurs with our kids. And in Crusader Kings 2, if your child was supposed to inherit something, we couldn't see exactly what they would inherit. If we go to our heir, it will probably say... No, it does not say what he will get upon succession. It just says what he has claims on. Because he's my heir, he will inherit the duchy first, because that's our highest title. The other kids will inherit various counties. In Crusader Kings 2, let's say I have this Röderfur over here that I don't want anymore, and I want this as a province instead. I could grant the landed title for this to one of my children, and it would overwrite his already previous claims. So, like, let's say our second oldest son was going to inherit Telemark, but we instead gift him the title of Röderfur, then he would no longer inherit Telemark, and it would change his thing. That's what it looked like in Crusader Kings 2. I'm not sure if that's 100% accurate, but it is something that I've done before, and it worked out. So I would like to do that now. Oh, it does say what they're an heir to. Jarldom of Vestland. Where's Vestland? Oh, no. And I added a second duchy at some point. And because of that, now if we die today, this will become independent because our heir will only be the ruler of this, and he can't oversee another duchy. So this child is already going to get the duchy. Okay. And he's already the chiefdom. So this is already going to go to him. So why don't we give that to him now? How do I... No title. How do I give this to someone? Just go directly to the child and give it to him. Chiefdom of... Yeah. So grant title. We'll give him the chiefdom of Röderfur. He, of course, will love us, and he'll become our vassal, and we will no longer be above the penalty. So, our son has become our vassal, and he, of course, really likes us because he's our child, and because we've done a lot of things for him over the course of his life. So now we're no longer over our domain limit, and we can focus on getting Hedmark a little bit more up to speed and giving us some of those great taxes. Is there a control map mode? Would be great. There is no control map mode. But I believe if we go to our council and select the increase control option. Okay, so the red ones are the least controlled. I would like to work on Hedmark just because of the value of their taxation and stuff. But I would also like to raise here because we're not at 100%, and that means we're not getting all the taxes we normally would get. Let's put them in our capital for the time being, to raise that control. And in a year or so, we'll move him over to Hedmark over there. And we would really like at some point to take the Duchy of Viken, which would require us... Oh, you're not Sweden anymore. You're Af Munso, House of King Bjorn of Sweden. Oh, you are Sweden. What map mode was I in that you were not Sweden? Oh, this is the house map mode. That's interesting. I didn't know such a thing existed. Okay, so Sweden still exists. My mistake. But in order to form this duchy, we either need to... So there are a few options. What we could do is take this area instead and form that duchy, or we could try to consolidate a little bit more in Viken, which would require us to go to war with Sjælland here, who are quite powerful, or with Sweden, who are also quite powerful. It's going to be difficult for us to expand in that direction. Alternatively, we can move in further into Opland, because we want a third duchy in order to create a kingdom. Because once we become a king, we have certain requirements. Oh, we actually can. All we need currently is... Oh, we're not famous enough. Okay. We want to form a kingdom of some sort at some point. And I believe if you have 3 duchies under your control, you can found a new kingdom. But we are not famous enough for that. So that's a bummer. We are getting there, but it is going to take time. Several years and several events, probably. Found a new kingdom. Hold 3 or more duchy. Yeah. Because if we can elevate ourselves to kings, that will prevent our realm from shattering on our succession. Otherwise, all these little duchies we already control are going to be separate, independent areas. Anyway, this has been a 45-minute episode, so let's call it here. Everybody, thanks for watching. Hopefully you are enjoying the series and you don't hate me for being terrible. And I, of course, will be back with more in the near future. So for now, thanks for watching. Click that like button if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.